I could still kill me a chungus, so what?
What's up?
Hi everyone, thanks for joining me this evening. By clicking on this video, you all know what you're doing here. You're gonna watch me flaunt my most recent vinyl record pickups. Now, my buying habits and purchasing personality, if you will, is kind of sporadic. One week, I'm really into Criterions. The week after that, I might be really into buying vinyl records. This week in particular, or I should say last week at this point, I really got into the idea of buying more movie scores because I'm a big film guy, but I also like music a lot too. Now, if any of you out there are vinyl record collectors, you've probably heard of Mondo, and especially if you're a film fan as well, Mondo does a lot of really nice pressings of movie soundtracks, video game soundtracks, television. And there were a few records recently that I just learned about that I had no idea they existed, and they've kind of been sold out. So I bought a few of these records, third party. So let's just get it started. When I went to Electric Fetus, I was looking for the Mondo Evil Dead vinyl release, as well as the Silent Hill 2 video game soundtrack. I didn't find either of those there, but I did find two things that were actually really cool. First one I have here in my hands is the Chinatown film score. This is Roman Polanski's film. I recently watched Repulsion for the first time and I thought it was pretty excellent. I haven't watched Chinatown since I was a freshman in college, and I'm now a senior, so it's been a little while, but this is a limited edition colored vinyl, and it was only $14 for this brand new record, and it was a Black Friday exclusive, I'm assuming last year, 2018. I can't exactly remember the music in this movie, but I'm sure it has like a really cool kind of jazzy Taxi Driver-esque. Yeah, this is what I was actually going to Electric Fetus to look for, but they didn't have it in stock, so I had to buy it from a third-party seller on Discogs, and that is the Evil Dead: A Nightmare Reimagined. This thing is really incredible. First of all, the artwork is wicked, and I love how Mondo does the spine inserts here, the back, just the artwork in general on this is absolutely incredible. I think this went on sale on Mondo's website about a year ago, found out about it a couple of weeks ago, and being the Evil Dead fan that I am, I knew I had to get my hands on it. I'm gonna open it up so you can see the inner part of it as well. And honestly, the price that it was selling for was really affordable. It wasn't too much more expensive than what it was originally going for. You can see the inner here, lots of classic Evil Dead stuff going on. It looks like the record almost slipped out. That'd be fucking tragic if this slid out and hit the floor. But this is probably the best looking vinyl record that I have in my collection. Both of the records look like this. Very cool colored 180 gram wax. The other side is like this blood splotched version of this side. So basically, I guess I haven't explained what this record is though. The man, Joe Loduca, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not. He did the original scores for, I'm pretty sure, the 3 original Evil Dead Army of Darkness films. And this is essentially like a reworking of those scores, making them more full, re-recording things, adding instruments, making little tweaks here and there. But it's seriously a concept for an album that I am all for. Next up, I mentioned that I wanted the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack. I wasn't able to get it because that sold out before I had the chance to buy it. The first one also sold out. This is the soundtrack for Silent Hill 1. They had a new white vinyl pressing because this has been pressed by Mondo before, but this is a new edition. It also sold out, but I kept checking the website, and I think someone must have canceled their order because this was randomly in stock one afternoon, and I just added it to the cart, bought it, and then it was unavailable again. So I really lucked out by getting my hands on this one. 2 LP. Compared to the second Silent Hill soundtrack, this one has a lot more atmospheric music, a lot more kinds of music that you'd expect in a horror game. It's very droney, but I really enjoy listening to this. The second one I think is a little bit better.
And when I do, I hope you all perish violently.
But I am definitely happy that I was able to get this version of the vinyl in my record collection. Now this one is actually not a film score. This is a record that I bought one night when I had too much to drink, and I'm glad I did buy it. It's called Maisie Fly from a band called Spelling. I don't know a whole lot about Spelling. She is the lead woman of this group. I was trying to find her name on the back of here. but it looks like she just goes by the name Spelling. But this is a really haunted sounding, cute album. Her singing voice, I had never heard her sing before, but if you've ever heard Massive Attack, on their first album, Blue Line, there's a female vocalist on that album, and I'm not even sure who it is, but she has a really distinct, recognizable voice. Her voice sounds a lot like that, so I really dug this album. It has really good production, and just a lot of fun, Halloween-esque songs, and I really enjoyed it. I bought this right from Sacred Bones Records from their website, and they had a limited blue vinyl edition. I think it was limited to 500. I'm pretty sure it's still in stock because this album's been out for like at least a month. So yeah, that's Spelling's Maisie Fly. Good album. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a new release to listen to. Now this is something that I did see while I was at Electric Fetus, but I didn't pick it up there because I decided to buy it from the actual label that makes it, because A, it was cheaper on their website, and B, I was able to choose the color variant that I actually wanted, because there are 2 different colors you can get this album as, and that's the Evil Dead 2 score. So this is just the soundtrack or score for the second Evil Dead film, the original soundtrack. None of it's been reworked. This is done by Waxwork Records, and the artwork on here is pretty awesome. I don't like this music as much as the original Evil Dead film, just because by the time Evil Dead 2 was coming out, it was definitely a higher budget, bigger production value for this film, and the score sounds a lot more like a kind of Hollywood blockbuster in a way. It still has like deep Evil Dead tones, but it also does sound kind of like John Williams, like Star Wars at some moments, which is like, listening to it on its own, it's not that fun, but watching the movie, and the music goes well with the movie. But I do want to open this up because before I had gotten that other Evil Dead record, I thought that this was one of the best looking vinyl colors that I had ever received. I'll show you the inside here. You can see Ash's girlfriend's grave. I don't think her name's Shelly. I can't remember her name. And the cool thing about this vinyl is that it's colored to be like ash. Groovy. So there's some blue, there's some red for blood, and there's the brown of his pants. So that's kind of the gimmick with this record, is that you get it as the color of ash, of what he looks like throughout the entire film. I am pretty happy with this. It looks awesome. I'm all about 180 gram colored vinyl, but really honestly, both Waxwork Records and Mondo do really incredible jobs. And the last thing I have here, I forgot to take off the shelf, but this is actually an item that I found at Electric Fetus. I bought 2 items there. The first one is the Chinatown soundtrack. The second one is the Old Boy soundtrack or score, whatever you want to call it. When I found it there, it was kind of expensive, but I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is really thick. It's got that little spine sleeve on it, 2 LP, and I love Old Boy. Old Boy's always been one of my favorite films, as has The Evil Dead, but I couldn't remember the music. I haven't watched Old Boy in probably about a year, but I knew the music was good. I remember like the opening track, that really fast, when he's holding that guy off the roof by his collar or his tie, but I couldn't put my finger on what the rest of the album sounded like. Once I started listening to it, I was enthralled. It seems like a lot of reworked versions of older classical, like European songs, but this thing has so many violins and harp and strings, and it's just good music in general. And every time that I've listened to this album, I just can always put myself in the movie and just remember every single scene. So honestly, that's what I really like about listening to film music, is that you can remember the movie so well just by listening to the music. So it's got this insert here, got this with some pictures on the back and a track listing. Again, this has really good art on the inside. The hammer, of course, a pretty iconic moment. And I'll just show you one of the records. One of them's blue and one of them's green. Fits the album artwork. Yeah, I'm really glad to have this in my collection and have it in my listening repertoire, because I've been missing out. And I did forget, I do have one more thing up here. I recently went to the Earl Sweatshirt concert that was here in Minneapolis. My girlfriend Nancy bought me the VIP ticket for this show, so you get a lot of extra things, like this hat that says Some Rap Songs on it, which is the title of his newest album. You also get the LP, and Earl Sweatshirt actually signed it up here. So you get a signed copy of the album, but everyone kind of knows Earl Sweatshirt. He was, once closely affiliated with Tyler the Creator, Odd Future Wolfgang. You know the deal. And this album was a step in a really different direction for Earl Sweatshirt, so it kind of took me a while to really get behind it and really find something to enjoy about the album. But after listening to it 3, 4, 5 times, it's really short. I think it's less than 30 minutes. It really is a pretty unique and enjoyable rap album that's definitely more rap than hip hop. Yeah, great album. I'm really glad to have it signed. I think I've seen Earl Sweatshirt every single time he's played in Minneapolis, so I don't know. His shows hold a pretty special place in my heart. So those are my vinyl record pickups in the past couple of weeks, excluding what was on my previous Half Price Books video. I've been buying a lot of wax lately. I love my record collection. I adore this thing. So if you guys like this video, please hit the subscribe button. I'll obviously be uploading more content similar to this, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day or whatever it is you are doing. Good night.